This is Jonathan Aggoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. We're here at the Wasserman headquarters. Big show May 13th, headlined by Linus Udofia against Denzel Bentley, live on Channel 5. Joined by Kalle Sauerland. Kalle, first of all, before we get into that, one thing you said in the press conference I wanted to touch on. You said that Wasserman work with other promoters, your Matchrooms, Probellums, etc. Why have you guys been able to work with promoters where others haven't been able to?
Must be my smile. You think so? You think I would respectfully disagree. I think most promoters work together. I think they argue a lot, and it takes a lot getting there. But in the end, I mean, let's take Wilder Fury. You know, was MTK, Bob Arum, Frank Warren, Shelley Finkel, Al Heyman, PBC. I mean, those people, there's not that much love in that circle, but they managed to put on, I know they went through arbitrations and everything else, but we saw a fantastic Rocky fight, which no one predicted, because everyone thought it would be a walkover for Tyson. It turned into an absolute, the Hollywood script. Then you look at the Usyk AJ fight last year, and that was, say, a less prominent promoter behind Usyk, but still, Matchroom had to work with them to get it done. They did that. There wasn't a purse bid, I don't believe. So, the world does work together. We are advocates of that, and that's something that we've always done. There's no promoter we haven't worked with in the last 5 years. So. I think that's key, and it's key to putting on the biggest fights. You don't find big fights on the world stage unless you work together. It's as simple as that.
Obviously, you struck a deal with Channel 5. Two questions. What was sort of the thinking behind teaming up with Channel 5, and how will you sort of divide who goes on Channel 5 and who goes on Sky?
Well, first of all, Channel 5 for us was a dream come true. It's a free-to-air platform. It's something that we love doing. We've done it in the past and had fantastic numbers in Germany and all over the world, Scandinavia, Eastern Europe, and that's something that we really like doing. We also are believers in it in terms of bringing the sport forward, attracting new fans, which, by the way, benefits the likes of DAZNs and Skies as well. So it's something which I think is such a fan-friendly deal. You sit there, sitting and see me grinning away here, because you don't have to defend anything. Hey, just tune in. It's free. It's free on Channel 5, and I think we've got to deliver. And I think the first card shows what's in store. So yeah, a great launch today here. Fantastic turnout, and very, very nice to see all the fighters come as well, and get a feel for the event before it goes into overdrive of fight week, of course.
Just talk about Josh Kelly. You said in the press conference you see him becoming world champion. A lot of people have written him off since sort of the David Avanesian fight, but he seems to have that desire back.
If someone writes off a fighter at that age, at that stage of their career, they must be a real expert. Fantastic. Must be geniuses. They should commentate on or be experts on badminton as anyone else, because you cannot write a man off at I believe in any stage of his career, but most importantly, with the talent that Kelly brought into the pros, you can't write off a guy for losing to David Avanesian, who clearly was also a little bit of a hidden secret where his level was, and it was world level, as simple as that. And it wasn't taking one bridge jump over one bridge, it was trying to do three at a time, and it was a bit fast. I don't think that was down to bad matchmaking or Sky pushing or whatever, because I think Sky, they know their business, and they built him up very well, and Matchroom have a fantastic matchmaking team. These things happen, and by the way, Adam Booth, he's very good and very clever in matching fighters through their careers, and but sometimes you get them wrong. you know, and it was that bit much too much for that stage of the career, you know. But hey, he's not the type to take that as a loss. He'll take that as a learn, and that for me was the point where I said I need to be part of this ride. We need to be part of this ride. This is going to get fun.
And just a word on the main event, British title on the line between Linus Udofia, Denzel Bentley. What's your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one of those throwbacks a little bit, isn't it? It's a British title. It's the fight to go on and represent your country on the world stage, in my eyes. You know, we managed to win the purse bid against Frank on that, and you know, I think, you know, he bid high as well, and so it shows the value that we both placed on the fight. And I think it's one of those that can really, really light up. And the reaction, forget the media reaction, the fan reaction online to that purse bid was so positive. Much more positive than some world title purse bids we've won. So when we saw that, we felt that when we knew the Channel 5 deal had landed, we thought, wow, that's where it's headed.
I know we're pressed for time, so just an update on Chris Eubank Jr. Talk of a Kell Brook fight. How close is that?
Well, we've just got a lot of hurdles to get through. We've got through some of them. The weight part seems to be cleared up, and we've obviously got a few other details, including numbers, to discuss, and that's that's something that sometimes takes ages, and other times it's worked out over an espresso.
And just finally, you mentioned Tyson Fury at the beginning. We've got the Dillian Whyte fight coming up in a couple of weeks' time. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a fantastic fight. It's again a great advertisement for the heavyweights. You know, I love Tyson Fury, so I've got to say I don't have to say nice things about him. I've said enough nice things about him over the years, but I just respect him very much as a throwback fighter, and it's someone who's had generations of fighting background. Dillian, for me, is one of the most improved heavyweights out there. I think that if I look back 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't really rate Dillian. I think he's come on and he's worked, and yes, he had the setback with Povetkin, but hey, also got to give him credit for rolling the dice so often when he didn't have to. You know, as a promoter, you would normally say, "Wait, you're mandatory, you're fighting the milkman till we get there," and he didn't do that. Yes, he made a lot of money in taking those risks, but he took those risks, and I think that's a factor that hasn't been talked about enough. What do I make of all the melee around it? Well, I don't know. I look forward to seeing them both in a ring, you know, but it would be nice to see them at a presser as well before. They're both entertainers, they're both great characters, and it will certainly be good banter, but, you know, it's boxing. I'm sure there's a few twists and turns to go before the first bell at Wembley.
All right, Kalle, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your time, and roll on May 13th on Channel 5.
Thank you.